So this is honestly just kind of a sad story, and I'm like looking through YouTube videos on this, and I really want to make a video on this when it happened, but I'm seeing more and more stuff on social media about this. And when I looked at basketball channels talking about this, it didn't sit right with me. It did not sit right with me, and it was videos about Kai Jones. Like, Kai Jones, obviously, I don't know if he's on drugs. He's more than likely on drugs. Like, if you guys saw the videos of him, he was off his head. Like, you don't sweat like that slurring words if you're in a sound state of mind. You don't, like, draw all over your walls like he has. Like, the guy's not in a sound state of mind. I don't know if he's taking substances. I don't know if he's off his head or not. But, like, the fact that almost, like, a joke has been made out of it, it just doesn't sit right with me. Like, he requested a trade from Charlotte, and they were like, Charlotte have waived him straight away. And people were like, oh, F around and find out. Oh, you requested a trade, you're going to get cut. And I'm like, this guy is clearly not in the right state of mind. And the reason why it didn't sit right with me is, like, when the whole DeMar DeRozan stuff came out, and when a lot of, like, the mental health stuff with NBA players came out, it was treated with the seriousness that it should be treated with. But when somebody's mental health breakdown becomes a source of entertainment, people just stop treating it seriously. Because I don't really understand it, because it's like somebody's clearly going through something and they're going through it publicly, and the reaction from people was to laugh and basically say they deserved everything negative that happened to them. And, like, do I think Charlotte should have just kept him on and paid him millions? Actually, no, I don't. But I don't think tossing him to the side is the good thing either from the organization. From what is the worst organization I think I've ever seen. Like, less than 30 minutes after the Kai Jones thing, we ended up seeing that Miles Bridges did something again. Like, they're a franchise that are going out of their way to employ Miles Bridges, a man who beat up his wife in front of his kid. But yet, if a player is struggling with mental health, they'll toss him to the side as soon as possible. And I don't really know where to draw the line with this, because I understand from the Charlotte Hornets perspective, like, you don't want to keep a guy like that in your franchise. Like, he was there, like, talking down on his own teammates and saying stuff about them. So it's like, it's clearly, like, not good to have him around. But also, like, tossing him to the side isn't very good for him either. Like, you can see from videos, you can see from the fact he's just drawing on walls behind him that, like, he's not in a sound state of mind. And I think it's just an all-around sad situation. I'm not going to come out here and say, like, oh, X person, Y person, like, should have done differently. Because obviously you don't know. I don't know the guy. I don't know what he's like behind the scenes. I don't know how hard, if the Hornets were trying to get him help and he just wouldn't. Because that's obviously a completely different scenario. But I'm looking at YouTube videos about it, and it's all, like, making a mockery out of the entire Kai Jones situation. I'm seeing Kevin Durant basically, like, vibing to his music as he's having a mental breakdown. So I'm just like, it just doesn't sit right with me. And I know it's really not a basketball situation, but I wanted to talk about this on the BBALL Daily channel. I wanted to bring that channel back just to talk about this one specific thing when this was all happening. But I just think it's an extremely sad situation that hasn't been covered in a way that, like, just, it hasn't been covered in a way that I feel has done the situation anyway justice. Like, the only way I've seen this being covered is, haha, let's all laugh at Kai Jones. When in reality, the guy's clearly going through something, has lost his only source of income, and is not looking like he's getting better. So, yeah, I hope everything works out for him. I hope he's back in the NBA, because this guy was a freak athlete. I hope that he's able to get his mental health back together. I hope that if he is taking substances, that like, he can obviously get off them. If he's not, and it's just a mental health thing, I hope he gets back soon. He gets back to himself soon. I would love to see him in the NBA again. But I really just don't want to log into social media and see another joke about Kai Jones. And to see another person like tweeting Kai Jones, I don't even know what it is. It's like a hashtag God mode or something. Tweeting at him, like egging on a mental breakdown. Because as somebody who's been on like in social media for like as my job for the last 7 or 8 years, it's very like a lot of my friends, a lot of people that I would have been friends with have gone through similar types of mental breakdowns. When people are egging them on while they're going through something like this, it just makes things worse and worse and worse. And I'm very worried for Kai Jones. Not really a basketball thing, a little bit serious, but judging by the fact that every other video I've seen on YouTube about Kai Jones is just talking about how like he's wasting his talent and he's throwing away his NBA career, when in reality some things are more important than his basketball career. And I think what's going on right now is probably a little bit more important than him being in the NBA, if I'm being completely honest. I'd love to see him back, but more so than anything, I would just love to not see videos on YouTube of people just making fun of a guy clearly going through some sort of mental health crisis.